The things that are bothering me this week. Last week in therapy, I was in the middle of a story when my therapist, Dr. Brandon Mufflin, interrupted me. "Helen," he said. "It's Ellen. Ellen, when you get down to it, is there really any difference?" "Well, actually, I don't want to get into your constant need to correct people. I've realized what your problem is. You spend too much time in our sessions talking about yourself. But isn't that the point of therapy?" "In fact, no." Then Dr. Mufflin, I know, don't certain people's names make you hungry, suggested that instead of coming in each week and yammering away about the things that are bothering me, I should write them down, make a list of annoyances. He would then spend our therapy sessions reading my list while I did chores around his house. Much like Daniel's son did for Mr. Miyagi in The Karate Kid, he added, trying to convince me. Well, since Dr. Mufflin's the one who's 3 credits shy of getting his BA from a partially accredited university and not me, I decided to take his advice. So without any further ado, okay, maybe with just a little ado, here are the 10 things that are bothering me this week. Number 1. Golden delicious apples. Where do they get off naming their apples that? That's a little immodest, isn't it? What if I called myself Incredibly Attractive Ellen? Number 2. The way the receptionist at the dentist tries to book your next appointment 6 months in advance. "How's 8:45 on October the 5th? I want to say, "Nope, that's no good. I'm shopping for groceries at 8:50 that day." Number 3. Businesses that offer to make up for poor service or poor products with a voucher for more free poor service or poor products. If you're not satisfied with your meal, your next unsatisfying meal here is free. Number 4. Car lot ads that brag. "Our sales manager screwed up. We've got too many cars and they must go. His mistake is your lucky break." How does this guy keep his job? Every year he screws up and orders too many cars? I don't want to buy from a dealership that allows this degree of incompetence. Number 5. The salesman at the big electronics store who tells you how well-made and dependable the TV is that he's trying to sell you and that he's never had any customers who have ever experienced any problems. Then, when you get to the register, he wants to sell you the extended warranty. Number 6. My masseuse who always says, "Boy, you're really tight today." Just once I'd like to hear her say, "Wow, your muscles are incredibly loose and relaxed. Why are you even here?" Number 7. When I'm standing at a cash register and the cashier says 10.25, "You got a quarter?" I want to say, "No, I'm sorry. Let me find a cash register somewhere so I can get change and I'll be right back." Or if I tell them I don't have the exact change, they say, "No problem." I want to say, "I never thought there was a problem. You're the cashier. This is a cash register. Making change is your job. I didn't expect a problem." Number 8. Bumper stickers that say, I owe, so off to work I go. Or, "I'm late, but worth the wait." Okay, we get it. You've got terrible money and time management skills. These are character flaws. Why advertise them? While you're at it, how about, "I've got poor personal hygiene." Put that on a bumper sticker, why don't you? Number 9. The way ranch dressing is always ordered on the side. It's the mistress of salad dressings. Won't somebody stand up and make a commitment to ranch dressing? Stop treating her like a whore. Let her come with the salad to the dinner party. Don't force her to drive in a separate car. Number 10. Dr. Mufflin's blinds in his den. They're those metal ones instead of wood, and they are almost impossible to clean. I know it's only his den, but you should never skimp on window treatments. Well, I'd write more, but I don't want to be late for therapy. My chores today are organizing Dr. Mufflin's sock drawer, mulching his prize roses, and trimming the high branches in his apple orchard. Golden delicious. It figures. My dad was like a father to me. I get a lot of cards and letters asking me to write about my dad. Well, most of them come from my dad. Sometimes he tries to fool me by signing a woman's name, then putting on lipstick and kissing the envelope. His scheme doesn't fool me. The return address sticker he got from donating to the ASPCA is a dead giveaway. Since his birthday's coming up and I haven't found a good card yet, I figured I might as well give him his wish and write something about my dad. I remember my childhood like it was yesterday, or even this morning. Yet I was a little innocent girl, so I know it wasn't this morning, because I was this age even yesterday. But what I remember most is late afternoon, dinner time. Mama would be in the kitchen with Suki, our nanny. Suki was blind, so I don't even know why she'd be in the kitchen, because she wasn't allowed to help cook. She once sprinkled the Christmas cookies with Ajax. I didn't mind. But anyway, if it was Friday, supper would be a big kettle of fresh vegetable soup. Grandma would chop the carrots and celery. Every week she'd wave that big cleaver in the air, calling out the same thing. "Ooh, this knife is sharp. Y'all be careful. I can't control my arm." Just kidding. Grandmother was so funny. And dangerous. Usually I'd be in the backyard playing Starsky and Hutch with my best friend Lucy Tanzimar. Hi, Lucy. She had a huge head and always wore jumpsuits. My favorite was a bright yellow one with nuts all over it. Every kind of nut, not just 2 or 3. It had peanuts, pecans, pistachios, almonds, cashews, Brazil, acorns, macadamia, hazel, walnut, chestnut, pine, beechnut, filbert, hickory, mixed. Later we found out that peanuts, almonds, and walnuts weren't nuts at all, but actually something called droops. We used to laugh about that, thinking, here we are knowing that, just little girls, and whoever designed the jumpsuits must have been adults, but they didn't even know, and they made a mistake. We wanted to write to somebody, but didn't know who to write to. Anyway, I loved that jumpsuit. When we heard my dad's moped pull up in the front yard, we'd get so excited we'd run inside where Mama would be making a big batch of banana daiquiris. We'd all be trying to guess what he'd be dressed like. Every day it was something different. Sometimes he'd be in a monkey suit. Sometimes he'd be in pink fur like a giant bunny. He passed out flyers for new businesses at the mall, so he got to keep the suits. Sometimes, to surprise him, we'd all be in suits, too. Mama would be a swordfish. Suki was a mongoose. We told her she was an alligator. She didn't know. Grandma was an iguana, and so on. We'd light up sparklers and dance around in circles like elephants in a circus. My dad would enter and start juggling dishes while singing some Glenn Campbell song. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Oh, my. I'm so embarrassed. That's not my childhood. That's a play I saw in London. I'm sorry. I was wondering because none of that sounded familiar. I'm thinking, who's Lucy? No, my childhood was totally different. I had a twin brother who was an albino Mexican midget, and my dad sent us to Swiss boarding school. Wait a minute. No, that was a movie I saw. Okay, I've got it now. Obviously, I've been trying to block it out. It was so painful. When I was 11, my dad made me swim in a pool full of rats. Wait a minute. No, that was last week's Fear Factor. Okay, I remember now. I look back on my childhood and I remember how my dad would play these practical jokes on me all the time. I remember one time so vividly. I was 7 years old and I was in the